All right, we are back. We are back. Thank you so much for coming back. We back. We back. That poor, that poor man. That poor thing. You should have seen him laid up. Oh, that poor man. I mean, but when you're someone that spends a lot of time in the airport like he does, it's it can be tiring. So he was in the airport extra early because he didn't know what was going on. So he got through TSA, but um he got through TSA, but his flight was delayed. So, child. So he at the hotel. He got an early day at work tomorrow. So, the one thing that man gonna do, he gonna work. He gonna work. So, it was perfect. That was enough time for me to make my dinner and have my dinner. So, talk to babe, had my dinner, but now we're back. Yes, 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 yes. You walking your dogs, listen from the clouds. Okay, girl, be safe. Hello, doggies. Be safe. Okay. So let's get back into this before I left. And thank you all so much for coming back. We were getting into Mercury retrograde, right? So let's go here. Why are all these extra windows open? Let me see what's going on. See what's going on. Let me see what's going on. Okay. Let me close this. Y'all know what I was singing earlier today? And those of you who are old enough, do y'all remember Ludacris's album Chicken and Beer? Do y'all remember that album? I have been singing Hoes in My Room all day. All day. So if you all start singing, Who let these hoes in my room? Did you let them in here? If you all start singing that, I'm so sorry. It's my fault. Okay. So, seeing one, I told you stop laughing at me. Okay. So, why is it so damn bright? I can't see anything. Okay. So, okay. This is where we are right now. So let me click now. Okay, so this is now. It's a lot going on. But let me find the event chart for Mercury turns retrograde or direct. Okay, so let's calculate the chart. Okay. So Mercury turns retrograde at 6 degrees of Sagittarius. Okay, so you have to look at wherever Mercury is in your chart, wherever Sagittarius is in your chart, that is where Mercury is going to, make the most noise for you. Okay. Now come on, sing with me one more time. Who let these hoes in my room? Who let these hoes? Who let these hoes in my room? Did you let them in here? Who let these hoes in my room? Listen, I was making my omelet this morning singing that song. Okay. Remember, one was a midget, so we'll just say 4.5. Okay. So I was singing that song earlier today. I don't know why, but I always love when Black people, when you singing a song and then they can come in with the ad libs, right? They can come in with the ad libs. For example, if I say, Mr. Lover Man, you're supposed to say, Shaba, or he can do it, right? We all know, right? The community call and response is specifically a Black thing, a Black people thing, call and response. Anyway, so if we're ever going to be friends, okay, you have to do the call and response. Have to do call and response. So I was on the phone with Babe this morning. I was making my omelet and I started singing Who Let These Hoes in My Room? And he was like, These hoes. Because that's just the type of relationship that we have. So, right. Hey, CS girl. I emailed you. Email me back when you have time, CS. So yeah, call and response, black people thing, you know, we're in this together. Hey, D-Dub girl. Listen, I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it all. I love chicken and beer. I was in college when chicken and beer came out, and I used to play it very loudly in my dorm room. Very loudly. Obnoxiously loud. But I was at HBCU, so everybody was playing it. Okay, so let's get into this Mercury retrograde. We've been over here fooling around long enough. Okay, so Mercury, the red the red degree numbers indicate retrograde action. Okay. So by this time, I think Uranus just turned retrograde today, right? So let me Okay, so Uranus just turned retrograde today, 29 degrees. Uranus was in Gemini. Uranus is moving backwards through Taurus. So we're about to see a repeat of some of the Uranus and Taurus energy. And then Mercury on Sunday, November 9th, 2025. Okay, at 11:01 a.m. California time, 2 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, Mercury is going to station retrograde. Mercury does not have a good time in Sagittarius. Mercury is agitated in Sagittarius. Okay. So this not only will Mercury be retrograde, it's going to be retrograde in a sign where it does not do well. So this may be a very impactful Mercury retrograde. I was looking through some of the almanacs, the ephemeris, and the last time that Mercury was retrograde, starting in Sagittarius and moving backwards into Scorpio, was 2018. Okay, 2018. So it may bring some of that up. It may bring some of that up. But look, you got Mercury. Yeah, Mercury is going to be this is going to be this isn't a full opposition because it's not exact, but this is going to be opposite Uranus and Taurus. So you have the planet of communication, the planet of the internet, the planet of internet commerce, the planet of travel. Okay, travel is really has there's a possibility for travel to really be impacted because Mercury's retrogradation. Mercury, is governs, like the travel like that anyway. But Sagittarius, okay, our Sagittarius right here, Sagittarius is a mutable sign, it's a mutable fire sign, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter covers travel, especially long distance travel. So, like, we're seeing all this air traffic control stuff, and now notice they're talking about they're going to start reducing um flights from like 10% to 40%. So this has the potential to be very impactful. And again, it won't Mercury's going to be moving backwards. So Mercury is going to go from 6 degrees, and eventually Mercury will be backwards retrograde opposite Uranus retrograde in Taurus. This has a potential to affect financial markets. Okay. This has the potential to affect financial markets. Okay. Absolutely has the potential to affect financial markets. Okay, because Uranus is associated with innovation, associated with things that are sudden out of the blue that you weren't expecting, shaking things up, electricity, right? Because Mercury is the internet, Uranus is electricity, right? And then Mercury is going to be sliding backwards. Okay, so let's take the chart day by day. Okay. Um, so yeah, so we can look at this right here. Um, as we go forward, now remember, Mercury turns retrograde 6 degrees, 51 minutes in Sagittarius. Okay, we see our little buddy. We see our buddy right here. So I'm gonna click this here. We're gonna take the chart. Just let's just look. Okay, so now we're looking at this outer green ring. So okay, 6 degrees. Okay, 5 degrees. And as you can see, this is getting closer and closer. So by the time we get to November 18th, right? November 18th, and then we get to November 19th, we can see that Mercury will have retrograded backwards into Scorpio. Okay. So this is going to be so Taurus and Scorpio, they're on this same axis. So this is listen. hmm Here is going to be directly opposite Uranus retrograde in Taurus. Okay. So we can see like it's going to be aspecting because when we began, right? Let me remove this. When we began, okay, on Sunday, right? We see it here on Sunday. Mercury is here. Mercury is going to be moving backwards this way. Mars is going to be moving forward this way. So we might see some weird interesting communications. This is not the United States chart. I'm just showing the Mercury retrograde chart. I'm just showing what the chart looks like when Mercury turns retrograde. So, like I said, you can see this. Let me move this up some. So you can see this here, this slight, um, this is going to be an opposition that's going to move to perfect. This is going to start applying. So like we're in the pre-shadow phase right now. Mercury goes retrograde on Sunday. Okay. Mercury goes retrograde on Sunday, this upcoming Sunday. And like I said, we can see Mercury here in this red line. This is opposition here, opposition here. So as Mercury moves backwards, by the time 10 days into this is going to be a perfected um opposition to Uranus. Uranus is messy as hell. Okay, Uranus is already messy. So there's, like I said, we gotta watch this communication. Sagittarius is a Jupiter ruled sign, so this is travel. Okay, travel. We know that the government is shut down. Some of the TSA workers are not coming into work. I don't blame them. Air traffic controller fatigue, canceling flights, long lines at TSA. Listen, I can't tell you what to do. But I'm on a flight on Tuesday. Right now, San Francisco is not affected. Okay. I'm on a flight on Tuesday. But we just might decide to drive back because we don't know what state of chaos this is going to be in. It's just beginning. So this we don't know what we don't know what we're going to see. So this is going to be a little chaotic. It's going to be a little chaotic. It looks a little chaotic. Hey, butterfly empress girl. Hey, girl. She said, interesting. Seeing it actually retrograding, seeing it this way makes more sense. Yeah. So retrograde just means that now the planets aren't moving backwards themselves. They just appear to move like they're moving backwards. So when you're moving backwards, right? Because right now Mercury is in Sagittarius. Right now, Mercury, this is the chart for Sunday when Mercury turns retrograde. So Mercury is going to, when a planet moves retrograde, you have to go, it's going back through energies that it already made a pass through. So like I said, so let's go as the days move forward. So 6 degrees. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You see, Mars is still moving forward. So now we're gonna have Mars. Let me move this down so I can see. So we're gonna have Mars and Mercury. They're gonna be meeting. So this is gonna be explosive arguments. This is going to be maybe conversations about who is right, who is wrong, um, misunderstandings, misunderstandings. This has the potential to be trouble with transportation. Um, because Mars is our planet of severing, of cutting, um, of war. I mean, Mars is our planet of war. I'm not saying we're gonna get war communications, but it's a possibility. Definitely misunderstandings, definitely beef, right? Beef. And especially and Mercury retrograde has the potential for old shit from the past coming up. Old shit from the past coming up. What did I tell you all the other day? They're one of my husband's friends that friends with loosely on Instagram. I told you he came to my profile and liked all of my pictures. Like he liked all of my pictures from like the past. Like he went back to, let me tell you how far he went back to liking my pictures. That man went back to, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you how far back he went to liking my pictures in Instagram. Don't trust. No. Let me tell you. Let me see. Where is this picture from? This picture is from 2021. This picture is from 2021. This man went back 4 years in my Instagram to like pictures. He went back 4 years to like pictures in my Instagram. 4 years. He went back 3 years. He went back. When was this? When was this picture? 2022. Like he literally went back years in my Instagram and liked pictures. Pictures of me and Babe together. But he literally went back. This is, like I said, this is someone that we haven't spoken to in years. And that's why I say Mercury retrograde can bring old people back into your life. Old conversations may come up, conversations that you may have avoided, conversations that need to be rehashed out. Mercury is gonna bring all that shit up. Mercury is gonna, I promise you. He went back through it. Let me see, when is this picture? This picture from, yeah, he went back like 4 years through my pictures and just started liking my pictures. Pictures of me by myself and pictures of me and Babe together on my Instagram. And I'm just like, this is weird and random. This is weird, but I'm just like, Mercury retrograde. But this is what Mercury retrograde does. So, like I said, I see someone's question. I'm going to answer your question in a moment. So, yeah, let's just look at this moving backwards. So, like I said, by the time you see the rest of the planets here and all like this, all of these people are moving forward. Mercury ass is moving backwards. So, see Mercury moving backwards. Okay, so Mercury is going to aspect so many planets during this time. You saw Mercury was going to be conjunct with Mars. Mercury is going to be in direct opposition to Uranus. Mercury is going to conjoin the sun here, right? Because we're moving backwards. So we're moving backwards. The sun moves 1 degree a day, right? So Mercury is going to conjunct. So Mercury is going to be 29 degrees. You see the sun is moving forward, right? The sun is moving forward towards Mercury, and Mercury is moving backwards. So, but overnight, yeah, Mercury's going to touch the sun. Okay, let's see who else Mercury going to touch. So the moon is going to pass Mercury and it's going to aspect Mercury. So let's So now we can see Venus is moving closer, right? Venus is moving closer. Mercury is still retrograde because you see that 25 degrees right there. It's red. This is retrograde. So it's going to touch Venus. It's going to retrograde, touch Venus. So there may be conversations, okay, there may be conversations as it pertains to relationships. here in Scorpio. Maybe there's a hidden relationship, okay, cheating allegations that may come up. Okay, so Mercury is hitting these planets because we can see the moon by the time the moon is going to be. Let me move the chart up. The moon is going to be down here, so we can see Mercury touching the sun, Venus, Mars, the moon, aspecting to Uranus. Okay, aspecting to Uranus. So, and then we have, let's see, Mercury's at 22 degrees. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Mercury is going to be trining. Mercury is going to trine. That is an aspect to Jupiter. So Mercury during this retrograde is going to aspect just about every last one of the planets. This is why this Mercury retrograde is going to be huge. Now, so let me answer this question. Butterfly Empress says, what should we prepare for or be aware for? So this is what I would advise. Do not sign any major contracts during Mercury retrograde because you can overlook something. So no signing no major contracts, leases, selling a car, getting a bank loan, business deals. Do not sign any major contracts during Mercury retrograde. If you are traveling, make sure you have traveler's insurance, or if you are flying, make sure you take your driver's license with you because flights might be delayed and you're stuck 2 states over and you may need to drive because Mercury retrograde is starting out in the sign of Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. So this is a long distance travel sign. Make sure you have some extra money, not only in your bank account, but make sure you have cash on hand. If you plan on traveling somewhere, please have $500 to $1,000 worth of cash on you because when Mercury, remember we talked about it, we just talked about it, Mercury is going to be aspecting Uranus. Uranus is electricity. Uranus is sudden shit out of the blue. And Mercury governs internet communications and internet commerce. Credit cards could go down. You may need to run to the ATM and get some money. Do it now. However money you think you might need for the month, if you have that and you can take that out, take it out because you can always put it back. I'm not saying these things aren't going to happen, but I'm answering the question, what should we prepare for? So have you some cash laying around? You might go to the grocery store and you use your card, but their system may be down at the grocery store. So how are you gonna get your groceries? If you have some cash, you can pay for your groceries and go. Yeah, don't buy any cars, don't sign no contracts, no bank loans, no new business loans, none of the contract stuff because Mercury retrograde fucks that over. Make sure you have copies of things that you may need because you may not be able to pull it up. We remember, what was it, last week or the week before last, when the AWS was down for the East Coast? Okay, my sister in Chicago, she works for CTA. She couldn't log into stuff at CTA because that was down. That was an internet thing, and it was down. So many people across the country couldn't get on the internet. They couldn't log into stuff because that was a cybersecurity issue, right? All these things have the potential of happening. So if you're traveling, make sure you got you some travel insurance, especially dealing with this shutdown. So have extra money, plenty extra money. You can always put it back in your bank. Don't sign no loans, anything like that. Don't take out no new loans, no new lines of credit, no contracts, nothing in Mercury retrograde. Have backups of things. Make sure you know your passwords and stuff. You might get locked out and have to, reset your password. Conversations, be aware that there's a potential for people from your past to pull their ass back up, people you ain't seen in 2, 3, 5 years. You might get a message out of the blue. That old boyfriend, old girlfriend, old friend you don't talk to no more. They might try to friend request you on Facebook, or they might text you or call you. You might see their ass out in public. There is a potential for misunderstandings in conversations. So you at work and they're just not understanding what the fuck you saying, even though you're speaking English. Their brain's not functioning. That's not your fault. That's theirs. So just stuff like that. Just be aware and prepare like that. So does that answer your question, Butterfly Empress? Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, if you say Aries saves lives, your sun is probably in Aries. Um, but yeah, so these are things, like I said, just be aware. And like I said, I would let's see what this looks like on the United States chart. Let's see what this looks like on the United States chart. So let me remove chart. Let me remove this one. Let me save this chart. Save. Okay, now let me open up the US chart because I was just okay. So this is the United States chart. This is a Sibley chart. We've talked about this chart before. Every country has a founding chart, right? So now let me open up our Mercury retrograde chart um and have it as an overlay it on here. So let me go. Okay. So this is it here. Let me select this chart too. So now let's see. Now let's see what this looks like. Let's see what this looks like. So the inner chart, this inner chart is the United States birth chart. The outer chart, this outer wheel, is when Mercury turns retrograde. So let's take a look at this and see how potentially this can be how this potentially, what it might affect for the chart. Starry Eye says 100. You said me today at work. Listen. Spicy. Let me tell you, I was talking to my mom this morning. I told you I called my mom this morning. My aunt died. So I'm talking on the phone with my mom, and like I don't swear in front of my mom. Like it's my mom. Like I never swear in front of my parents. But we were having a conversation this morning. I was like, Mom, excuse my French, but what the fuck was he thinking? Like we were literally just like, she was like, I don't know what the fuck is going on either. And we were just going back and forth with our displeasure at my dusty derelict cousin, who's a degenerate. So we were, discussing our disgust of her nephew and my dusty derelict cousin, and we were just, F bomb and what the F. And I don't normally talk to my mom like that, but our conversation was spicy this morning. We weren't mad at each other, but it was spicy, right? We both said, excuse our French, because like I said, I don't swear like that in front of my parents. Y'all gonna get the sailor mouth, but I don't swear like that like in front of my parents. So that was, spicy conversation. Spicy conversation this morning. So Mercury is not retrograde yet. Mercury is going to turn retrograde this Sunday. So I need to prepare myself, because if you have not joined the classes that are going to be on if you haven't joined the classes that are going to be on Sunday, please do so. It may be too late to join. If you want to join the classes on Monday, go go and sign up for the classes. If you cannot sign up for the class, then let me know and I'll open it back up so you can sign up for the class. Because I need to prepare myself to make sure that I have what I need for our class on Sunday. I got to make sure that Zoom is not doing no bullshit for our classes on Sunday. So, yeah, it could be a lot. Natasha says, yep, I had an ex Scorpio. He's been calling and texting me, and some other fool sent me a letter. And my ex boyfriend found me on YouTube after I blocked him from everything else. Absolutely. Absolutely. Mercury retrograde will bring these dusty motherfuckers back from the past, honey. It will bring these people up. It will absolutely bring these people up. Absolutely bring these people up and bring it'll bring old shit up. Like, why you bringing up old shit? So don't be surprised if you get that hey big head text message or something like that. Don't be surprised. This is Mercury retrograde. So while Mercury is out here acting a damn fool, just understand. Aries said this is the good part. She said, "Are there classes on Sunday and Monday?" The classes are both on Sunday because Monday I am running my errands and getting my life together, and then Tuesday I'm on a flight. So I'm doing everything this weekend. I'm mailing out milkshake tomorrow. Um Classes are going to be on Sunday, and then I'm getting my life together on Monday because Tuesday I am on a flight to meet babe, to fly out to where babe is going to be at. So like I said, we just need to be prepared. So yeah. So let's look at this as it pertains to the United States. Like I said, the inner chart, this is the United States natal chart right here. And then here on the outside, this is Mercury retrograde chart. So Mercury is going to be retrograde right here, as we can see. Mercury is going to be retrograde in the first house of the United States. So whatever it is that Mercury retrograde is going to be doing, it is definitely going to affect the United States itself. Now we are already seeing the travel impact on the what? On the United States with this federal government shutdown. We are already seeing that. We're already seeing it. But this is happening in the first house. This is the first house of self. This is the United States. It's happening here. So there is a possibility that this air travel, shit gets wild. There's a possibility because we don't know when the shutdown is going to occur. We don't know when the shutdown is going to occur. I mean, when it's going to be over. We don't know when the shutdown is going to be over. So, yeah. We just don't know. We just don't know. And this affects, it affects so many people. People are not getting their SNAP benefits. They're not getting their food stamp benefits. People have families to feed. People have been going without checks. So they're rent, right? Their rent. Thank you so much, CN1. Thank you so much for putting that in there. And like I said, if you try to sign up for the class and you can't, it's because I have the classes set up so that people can't join like 2 days out. But if you want to sign up for the class, let me know and I will change the settings and reopen the classes so that you can sign up for the classes. You can take one or you can take both. Okay? It doesn't matter. And yes, if you can't attend the class but you pay for it, you will be able to watch the class after it's over. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. It is. So, like I said, that's what's happening here. But we know Mercury is going to retrograde and eventually slip back into Scorpio. So this is the 12th house. This is the 12th house of institutions. This is the 12th house of things that are hidden. This is the 12th house of things like that. And it's just like, so what, what we going what are we going to see? What are we going to say? See. What are we going to see? So, like I said, moving backwards into Scorpio. And like I said, the first house is the country as a whole. This is going to be happening directly to the country. And like I said, we've already seen that with the travel. We've already seen that with the travel. So then going back to the 12th house, the 12th house is, we got let me see because I can't see. So we have There could be, being at the 12th houses, prisons, hospitals, mental institutions, hidden enemies, right? Where things are hidden. Here in the 12th house, shocking we could see shocking revelations about secrets as it pertains to the United States. We could see shocking secrets as it pertains to the United States. We could see that. Mhm. We could see that. We absolutely could see that. Okay? Because the 12th house is hidden things, hidden enemies. I mean, it's so much that we don't know. Right, right. Uh-huh. Epstein files might get released. They just might. And you beat me to it, girl. Let me I need to look at something real quick. Let me pull up I need to look at a chart. You can't see it. But let me pull this chart up real quick. So let me see. Cuz we kind of talked about something earlier this year. But let me look at where the fuck Jeffrey Epstein chart at? Okay. So, so, so Jeffrey Epstein, okay, because I'm looking at his chart. Jeffrey Epstein has the North Node in Aquarius and his South Node in Leo. Well, you can look at the United States here. Okay, you can look at the United States here and see it's reversed. You can look at the United States here and see it reversed. The United States, this is why the Epstein files are a big thing for the United States. The United States has a North Node in Leo. Okay, let me see. The United States has North Node in Leo right here, and the South Node in Aquarius. Jeffrey Epstein has his North Node in Aquarius and South Node in Leo. This is why the Epstein files, this is why this is a thing. This is absolutely why this is a thing. And it's still here. So if we, like I said, it's gonna be moving backwards through that. Scorpio is a water sign, okay, that is ruled by Mars. We might get hidden information about wars. We might get all types of shit. Right, reverse. So, I don't know exactly what potentially is going to happen, but we're just talking about some things. But let me pull this up for us to see. Let me bring this right here. Because I did pull it up because I knew we were going to talk about it. So, let me go here because I want you all to see. So, like I said, so we saw that, right? Now let me share this so that you all can see. Share screen. This one. Okay. So let's look at this together. Okay, Mercury retrograde periods from 2016 to 2030. Okay. So remember, this year on Sunday, Mercury retrograde is going to start at 6 degrees of Sagittarius and move backwards into Scorpio. So is this it? No, not these dates. Aquarius to Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Nope, not these dates. Capricorn to Sagittarius. No. Taurus to Aries. No. Virgo to Leo. No. Now, in 2017, Mercury went retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, but it was only retrograde in Sagittarius. We're looking for our closest match. 2018. So in Aries, no. In Leo to Scorpio, no. But November 16th, 2018, Mercury went retrograde in Sagittarius and ends in Scorpio. This is the matching energy. This is the matching energy. So the last time we had a Mercury retrograde starting in Sagittarius and ending in Scorpio was 2018. Let's just look at these just to make sure. Pisces, no. Leo to Cancer, no. Only in Scorpio, no. That's not a match. 2020, Pisces to Aquarius, no. Cancer, no. Scorpio to Libra, no. 2021, none of these fit. This is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, no. 2022, nope. Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus, Aquarius, nope. That don't fit either. 2023, Capricorn, no. Taurus, no. Virgo, no. Now, December 2023, Mercury went retrograde in the sign of Sagittarius, but we need start in Sagittarius and end in Scorpio. No. 2024, it went direct in Sagittarius. Nope, don't fit. Aries, nope. Leo, nope. Again, in Sagittarius, nope. So this is the one. So March 2025, I mean, not March 2025, 2025, which is us here. We have November 9th through the 29th. Starts in fire sign Sagittarius, ends in water sign Scorpio. The only one that matched that we saw signs and close dates was this. Starts in Sagittarius, ends in Scorpio. So this is going to be pulling up shit from 2018. 2018. So you have to look back into 2018 in your life. What was happening for you November to December when Mercury was retrograde? November to December 2018. What was going on in your life? I'm trying to think what was happening in mine. I don't remember. I don't remember, but it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. So this is going to be bringing back shit, you know, these things like this. So whatever's happening. So I was trying to look at the news stories of let's see, major news stories November 2018. So let's go here. Share this tab instead. Okay. Oh, look at this. U.S. midterms. So this is an AI overview. We don't trust AI, but this is an interesting headline. U.S. midterm elections where Democrats won control of the House. The Democrats swept a lot of those elections that happened this week. So that's very interesting. That is touching on that a little bit. That's touching on that a little bit. What was there a government shutdown? Let's see. Let's type in and see. Let's share this tab. I got a fresh Google tab. Okay, so government shutdown 2018. Let's see what comes up. Because I don't remember. The 2018 government shutdown, which lasted for 35 days from December 22nd, 2018 to January 2019 was the longest in history. Okay. So we're seeing that theme. This isn't when Mercury retrogrades, because this isn't the Mercury retrograde time period, because remember, our Mercury retrograde time period was here, November 16th through December 6th. But energetically, right? Energetically, okay. Energetically, we got some, and that was the longest. It was the longest shutdown in history, and now we have the longest shutdown in history. Okay. So yeah. So that one was the longest one. Let's go back to major news stories for November 2018. Let's kind of see. Let's kind of see what it was. This is Wikipedia. So Wikipedia. So yeah, so we did just have a plane crash. So this was Lion Air Flight 610. Now this is November 1st, 2018. In our previous 2018 Mercury retrograde, it was November 16th. But this was November 16th when it started. But this is like 2 weeks before. So this is like the pre-shadow period. But let's just go on down to, let's start here. Because you should definitely start feeling the shadow period here. Israel-Palestine confrontation. Okay. International relations. There was the unaliving of Jamal Khashoggi. I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. I remember that. So this is world news. This isn't USA news. Let me go USA news November 2018. Let's go to the USA portal. Let's see if the Wall Street Journal ain't gonna be on some bullshit. So let's go here. Let's go here. Okay. No, see, I need USA. I need USA, baby. Just give me the USA. What happened to the USA in 20? To show more. So we had midterm elections where Democrats won a majority. We just saw that. So it's funny because there's Brett Kavanaugh confirmation. Ain't that lady supposed to be getting confirmed? That woman who won, what was it, the state of Arizona? Mm-hmm. Then there was a partial government shutdown. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, let's see if we can get back into this portal here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if it just U.S. political sex scandals. Oof. Harvey Weinstein and stuff. Okay. Let's go to like I said, let's go back here. Israel and Palestine, they still doing their fuck shit. Worldwide elections. So arts and culture. So California wildfires. Campfire in Butte County is now ranked as the deadliest wildfire in California history. This was 2018. International relations, killing of Jamal Khashoggi. I remember that. Like I said, that was they know they were wrong for that. Look at this. United States Senate election, Arizona 2018. Like we're seeing some of the themes repeat, even if it's not exact. So California wildfires. Okay. We had some pew pews. Pew pews. Let me see. So that was Sri Lanka. Arm Affleck. So California wildfires. Listen. So fire being a thing, Sagittarius is a fire sign. So fire, California wildfires. When the air, Mercury, is blowing the Sagittarius fire around. So California wildfires. Okay. California wildfires. So, like I said, I'm not saying it's going to be exactly this, but we have to, and this is why I say that astrology is absolutely looking through history and seeing what's going on. Okay, so these wildfires was a lot. I don't remember that, but I'm never going to downplay it because those people, funny they talking the gubernatorial election. Listen, I heard they ain't over there. I heard Keisha Lance Bottoms is trying to run for governor in Georgia and ain't fucking with her for whatever reason. I don't live in Georgia anymore. So, and Donald Trump. Oh, look at this. Donald Trump was the president. Donald Trump was the president during the last Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius that slides back to Scorpio. No, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I wouldn't say that. Um, I wouldn't say that at all. Um, no, I wouldn't say that at all. No. No, I mean, if you have questions about that, absolutely talk to your doctor or talk to her doctor, but no, I wouldn't just, everything doesn't repeat exactly, but we'll see some themes. So there's a possibility that um I don't know your mom's chart. So I can't say without taking a look at your mom's chart, and even then I don't really talk about like medical stuff like that. But if you have any questions or concerns, I will absolutely say speak to your doctor. But yeah, so isn't that funny that Trump is the president again on this same cycle? Like you literally can't make this shit up. You literally can't make this up. Let's see what else. Let's see. So one thing that matches Trump is president again. Shut down again, even though it's not the exact time, but it was a partial shutdown, so shut down again. Okay, so do have some things that match. The woman in Arizona who's supposed to be sworn in, so that kind of matches. Um, that kind of matches. So yeah, it'll be interesting that Mercury retrograde lasted until December 6th. So yeah, let's see. I'm trying to look for only USA stuff. Mm, okay, Mexico United States relations. Interesting. We know that immigration has been a big topic here this year in the United States, with ICE and immigration and all like that. And we got a lot of that foolishness when Mars was retrograde through Cancer earlier this year. So I find that interesting. Let's see if we see anything else about the United States. This is that fire in California again. Um, yeah, so fires. I mean, California is, listen, it was supposed to really rain the other day, and I'm mad I didn't get my rain. Okay, Russia United States relations. Ain't no telling. I'm not saying it's going to be exactly the same, but just things for us to, we can always come back and check. But I am definitely thinking that um there may be an absolute um this government shutdown, this air traffic control and the TSA. Listen, it's wild. Okay. Okay, so we got data breaches. Data breaches, absolutely. With Mercury retrograde, Mercury is information, and data breach, that's technology, internet, which is Mercury. So data breaches, let's see. Let's see. Let's go to the next month and see. Let's go to the next month and see. Like I said, we're just looking to see kind of what was happening, right? We were looking to see what was happening. So let's see. Okay, so George H.W. Bush. On November 30th, 2018, George H.W. Bush died from vascular Parkinson's at his home in Houston, Texas. Okay. We never know. We may get another president to pass away. I'm not wishing anything on anyone. I do know that I know they said Biden has cancer. Again, I'm not wishing that on him. I'm just noticing things. I'm just noticing things. As it pertains to the USA. So, Yeah, so okay, that's Sweden. That's not here. Funeral for George Bush. God of War Game of the Year. Two U.S. Marine crash. December Time Warner Center bomb threats. Okay. Now I have noticed that if you remember my stream from a couple months ago, that when there are bomb threats or bombs that go off, it's usually Mercury is in a hot sign along with the sun being in a hot sign. If you go back to that stream of mine, that was my research that I did when I was looking at major bomb events like the Atlanta 1996 Olympics um bombing in Atlanta. The the Boston Marathon bombing. The some other bombings where they attempted to bomb the satanic church, I think it was. Old bomb scares from like the early 1930s or whatever. So I saw that repeating pattern. Like I said, that was my own research. So being at this here, because by the time you get to December 6th, the sun does move into the sun is in the sign of Sagittarius, which is a hot sign. Sagittarius is a fire sign, right? Um and Mercury retrograde. So by the time Mercury's back in the Scorpio, but then Mercury's going to be moving forward. So absolutely. So listen, I'm not saying that a bunch of terrible things are going to happen. I'm just saying when it comes to astrology, you have to look at the history and see, is there a pattern here? So we are definitely going to be, because Mercury is going to, if we go back here, Mercury is going to retrograde, like we talked about, starting Sunday, November 9th through November 29th. So by the time we get to November 29th, we'll absolutely be in Sagittarius, right? The sun will be in Sagittarius, which is a hot sign. So, and then Mercury is going to station direct and start moving forward again, and eventually we'll be back into Sagittarius itself. So, I'm not saying that there will be bomb attacks or anything like that, but like I said, I had that theory going, and my theory was correct. So, I've just been talking. Let me look at the chat and see what's going on. She said the orange demon was impeached December 29th. Okay. Okay. But yeah, we were looking at 18. So they probably started planning it then. It's possible. You're very welcome, Mocha Cream. Mm-hmm. What does DT's chart look like? Now here come D-Dub being messy. Okay. Let me do this. Let me open up the chart for your homie, since you asked. Now we all know he's probably somewhere shitting his diaper. Allegedly. Okay. So let me remove this so I can add the chart in. Okay. So here is our chart. Your homie Donald Trump is in the center. Now I wanted to say something. Do y'all see this? Do y'all see how Donald Trump's ascendant is Leo and his descendant is Aquarius? Weren't we just talking about Epstein with his north node and south node in these signs? They are absolutely linked because of this. Absolutely linked. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. So this is going to be happening in his 5th house. Okay. Let's see what's happening here. I don't see anything going on too much for him. Let me see. Where is his chart ruler? His chart ruler is So Donald Trump, he's um he has a Leo ascendant at 29 degrees, which is conjunct the fixed star Regulus, which is why Trump, quote unquote, is a king. Okay, it is very lucky. I don't care what no one says. I believe the man has an astrologer. I absolutely believe that he has an astrologer. Now, so the ruler of his chart ruler, the ascendant is pretty much your ruler. His ruler of his chart is the sun. Now, with Mercury going retrograde, so this May, okay, let me see. Mercury's gonna go retrograde. Okay, let me move the chart and let's see how. No, we gotta go to edit. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Let's see if Mercury is going to retrograde. Okay, because we're looking at this green down here now. We're looking at the green chart down here now because I edited it to be this time of year. So what does this chart look like? So we're looking at the green as I progress the retrograde chart. Lord, let me progress the chart. As I progress the retrograde chart, you can see the planets moving. Ooh, Mercury is going to absolutely touch his sun. Touch the sun. So the ruler of his chart is still the sun. It's still the sun. So I don't know. And it's gonna be moving back into his fourth house. So foundational stuff. Listen, this could be some secrets. People from his past, from his childhood, absolutely could be. But remember when we looked at the United States chart, okay, we looked at the United States chart, it's gonna be things happening to the United States itself, the first house, happening money-wise, health and vitality of the United States, and it's gonna slide back into the 12th house of hidden enemies, institutions, hospitals, things like that. Things like that. So, like I said, the 12th house mundane astrology, prisons, places like hospitals, secret enemies, enemies of the country. Okay, things that are hidden, things that you can't see, right? Because the ascendant doesn't see, doesn't, okay. So, it's gonna be real interesting. It's gonna be real interesting. Like I said, we don't know yet. We just have to make sure that we are paying attention to the news between now and November 29th. Really until like the first to second week of December. So between now and like the first, second week of December, we need to be paying attention to what's happening in the news, what's being reported. Um, we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention. Like I said, let me go check my news sources now because every time you turn around it's something new, which is fine. This is fucking crazy. This is fucking crazy. So someone said the bankrupting of the country. I mean, it's possible. This whole we all have theories. None of us have proof. I fully believe that the money is gone for SNAP benefits. That's just me, but we'll see. We'll see. We will absolutely see. We will absolutely see. Um, yeah. We will absolutely see. I absolutely see. Um, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We will absolutely see. Oh hell. I hope this is not true. Not MTG talking about she gonna plans to run for president in 2028. I don't know if that's a true news story or not. Everyone please verify for themselves. Mm-hmm. So let me see. Matter of fact, my Threads app been acting up all day. All day. So listen, like I said, that lady need to be sworn in. She need to be sworn in. Need to be sworn in. So, like I said, listen, we just gotta pay attention to things. We gotta pay attention to these. She said, I know the funds are gone. Listen, like I said, I have no proof. I have no proof of anything. I don't have documents. I don't have bank account transfer records. I don't have anything. All we know is there is some fuck shit afoot as it pertains to the United States government right now. That's all we know. Yeah. Lady Leo says, I wonder what he gave to these foreign. Listen, I don't know. I don't know. I absolutely don't know. Empress Kia think it was 40 billion. That's what she thinks. Yeah, I was just looking at something. Let me go try and verify. Let me see. I need something. So I think a lot of states are doing it. I know the court ordered him to do it. A federal judge ordered the government to fully fund food aid by Friday. So, let me see. Payments will be issued between November 1st and 28th. I know some people do have theirs, but I do know that some states were doing it. So, um payments for now. Okay, so let me go. I pulled this up. So let's pull this up. Let's pull this up. We're gonna look at this together. We're gonna look at this together. So what page are we looking at? Okay, we're not looking at a page. We're gonna look this up together. So no one can say that Q is out here lying and shit. Y'all know I don't do that. Okay. So let's share the screen. Let's share the screen. Okay, so this is the portal. Let's go to AP News. Okay, we can go to AP News right now, the Associated Press. Supreme Court issues emergency order to block full SNAP food aid payments. Okay. This is 6:48 p.m. So a few minutes ago, Pacific time, November 7th, today. Supreme Court on Friday granted the Trump administration's emergency appeal. Okay, can everyone see? Yeah, emergency appeal to temporarily block a court order to fully fund SNAP food aid payments amid the government shutdown, even though residents in some states have already received the funds. So, as we can see here, now the shit is going back and forth. Now it's going back and forth. We're looking at it right here. This is the news story. This is right now. This was literally like not even 10 minutes ago from AP. So this is new. So this is more Mercury retrograde shit. What do we say? Contracts, agreements, even though Mercury is in retrograde till Sunday. But we have one decision, the decision overturned, one decision. That's wishy-washy shit for Mercury retrograde. A judge had given the Republican administration until Friday to make the payments through the SNAP program, but the administration asked an appeals court to suspend any court orders requiring it to spend more money that is available in a contingency fund and instead allow it to continue with planned partial SNAP payments for the month. because they talking about they ain't got the money. Where the fuck is the money? So her so Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson issued an order late Friday pausing the requirement to distribute full SNAP payments until the appeals court rules on whether to issue a more lasting pause. Her order will remain in place until 48 hours after appeals court rules. 48 hours is Mercury retrograde on Sunday, giving the administration time to return to the Supreme Court if the appeals court refuses to step in. So now we're seeing the updates. So like I said, we have to pay attention to the news and see what's going on, right? Um, whatever you call news these days, pay attention to the headlines, whatever. We have to pay attention to things and see, yeah, don't sign any contracts. It may not be lasting. It may get overturned just like we saw with this. No contracts. I mean, you could do it if you want to, but it may work out, it may not work out. Yeah, I'm looking at the same news story on Threads right now. So we just went to a source to verify that yes, the full SNAP payments are on pause because they don't have all the money for full SNAP payments. Okay, okay. Natasha, go to the wall. Go to the wall. Oh yes, they absolutely understand. They don't care. Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Let me see. Let's see. Okay, let's go here. So I'm looking on Threads right now. Let me see. Let me click Bank of America because I'm seeing some BS right here. See Bank of America today. Let's see what's happening. Not mortgage rates, honey. Bank of America news today. Let's see what's happening. Ah, what did Q say? Let's look at this together. Bank of America down in the US? Thousands report issues amid widespread outages. What did Q say? What did we talk about as it pertains to the Mercury retrograde? What did we just talk about? Mercury is e-commerce, the internet and shit being down. Mercury is going to be moving into opposition with Uranus, electricity, shocking things. Somebody asks, how do you prepare for this? Make sure you got some damn cash on hand. Because what did Q just say? You may not be able to log in. I just said you may not be able to fucking log in. And what do we have here? Okay. Bank of America down for thousands on Friday, down detector. Oh, Bank of America prepares for 2 complete shutdowns of these branches for 24 hours. Bank of America down in the US. I just talked about it. I just talked about it. I literally just said that earlier in the stream. So what y'all gonna do? Make sure you have plenty of cash, access on hand. You need to have, if you have the finances for this, I'm not counting anyone's money. Make sure you have, I would say, because life is expensive right now, I would say between $500 to $1,000 cash on hand. Because if you can't log into something, baby, if you can't log in, then you just can't log in. I mean, what did I say? This has the potential to affect ATMs and shit like that. So you may get to the checkout counter at the grocery store, and for some reason your card doesn't work or their point of sale system doesn't work. We just talked about this. We just talked about this. Okay. Okay. So here we are. Here we are. Bank of America down. Okay. It's daytime in India right now. So this is from Hindu time. So this is from India. Bank of America down. Thousands report issues amid widespread outage. Can't see the latest balance or transfer money. Updated on November 8th, 7:15 a.m. because this is Indian Standard Time. This is India. Thousands of customers shared that they were facing issues with Bank of America on Friday. You can go to Threads right now if you have Threads and look at Bank of America. If you have Threads, the social media app from Instagram, Threads, I literally see somebody here from an hour ago say, if you got Bank of America, check your accounts because what the hell is going on? On a Friday, we talked about Friday. What is Friday? Payday here in the United States associated with Venus. Anyone else having their Bank of America balances wiped completely out? I just checked my account and it's wiped. This is someone from Vegas, Bank of America. Another person said my Bank of America account is at 0. So, listen, I have Navy Federal as well. I have Navy Federal as well. I mean, but listen, Mercury retrograde is going to be, things are going to be crazy until like December 6th. Now, everyone type in the chat, what did Q just talk about with this Mercury retrograde? What did we just talk about? The possibility of not being able to act. Q was right. I want everybody to type the hashtag in the chat. Q was right. And we ain't even hit the Mercury retrograde yet. Mercury retrograde starts on Sunday. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's, oh my God. So we were talking about, so I'm going to keep looking at these news stories because I'm also seeing a news story possibly in Chicago of active shooter. We just looked at that active shooter situation when we were looking through the news stories. Potential active shooter threat in progress at a YMCA in Chicago on 63rd and Stony Island. So, like I said, so yeah. 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 Anywho, are we? Yeah, you're Oh shit. So now I got to bring the chart back up. Let me bring the chart back up. Let me look at something real quick. Oh my god. Okay, let me remove this. We're gonna move this idiot. Remove. Let me see now. Yeah. What did Q say? What did Q say? Q said that when Mercury when Uranus goes backwards into Taurus, we may have some financial issues. Well, lo and behold, Uranus has retrograded back into Taurus. Uranus is in Taurus right now. Uranus is in Taurus right now. Let me bring up the chart so I can show you that Q is not bullshitting. I said, oh, I just said it. I just said this shit. Child. Okay. So this outer ring is right now. You can see it says November 7, 2025, right here. 7:04 p.m. San Jose, California. This the green. Where is Uranus? Let me bring the chart back up. Where is Uranus? In Taurus. Financial hits. Because Taurus is what? Money. Taurus is money and financial stability. Not just money, financial stability. I just said it. So like I said, I'm not gonna pat myself on the back. I'm not here to be like, oh, I was right. But what I talked about today, and we're starting to see the news stories match this discussion today. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Uranus is in Taurus right now. Let me see when Uranus actually retrograded back into Taurus. So let me see. Let me go. We're gonna go hour by hour. So I just changed that to hour. So let me go hour up, literally while we have been talking. So we can see this chart says 6:04 p.m. And then we can see Uranus was in Gemini. So Uranus is retrograding right now. So let's change this from hour to minute. And let's see. Let's move forward. Oh, there's that jump right there. So at 6:19 p.m., Uranus was in Gemini, California time today. 6:20, Uranus is in Taurus. Since we've been here on the stream. So like I said, hold on to your asses. Hold on to your edges. Prepare yourselves, not because you are afraid, but because anything can happen. This is not fear-based. This is information-based. A lot of times people say, well, I wish I would have known and then I could have prepared. Now, yes, sweet ace of silhouette. The 29th degree is the degree of crisis, decay, what the fuck? Okay, this is the anaretic degree per astrological degree theory. So a lot of times people be like, well, I wish I would have known. Now y'all know. Now y'all know. It is a crisis to not be able to get your money. So please, if y'all can, because I want you all to thrive and prosper. If you can, especially if you're working with Bank of America or something, just for peace of mind, go to your bank, go inside the bank and talk to the teller lady or the teller man and withdraw Make sure you got enough in there to cover your bills if you have electronic payments. Take out $500 to $1,000 so you can get groceries because you just don't know. You can go to the gas station and they shit ain't working at the gas station. What the little thing at the pump say? Please see cashier because the card don't work. At least you can have $50 to give to the cashier man if the card shit go down. Just for Mercury retrograde. And then whatever money you don't spend, or if you didn't have to spend any at all, because cash still works, then you just put it back in your account later. So, and you better believe Q and Mr. Hoodoo, we have our, you know what I'm saying, we take precautions. We take precautions. I got a couple $100 in my purse right now in case I go out. You may want something, or hell, the damn, the damn shit may be down. Q gonna be able to, get her tacos and get her tacos or whatever. I got a couple $100 in my purse. And yeah. Yeah. So, my beloveds, what did you all think of tonight's stream? This is the Mercury retrograde stream. And I'm going to make sure that I title it the Mercury retrograde stream. Please feel free to and I can do that right now in YouTube. Let me go to YouTube Studio. So beloveds, Q always does this so that Q does streams like this because I want you all to have information, because people say that, I didn't know. I didn't know. Let me title this November 2025 Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. So this is going to be, and let me put this in the astrological discussions playlist, because I just changed the live stream title for this right now because this is what we were talking about. Okay. So please, if there is someone that may be interested in information like this, please share this video. Please share this video, because like I said, people always say they want the information. If they know they could have prepared, or if I would have knew this, or we've just now seen the renege on paying out the SNAP benefits. We've just seen the renege on that. Now the bank shit ain't working for Bank of America. People's accounts are saying zero. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Empress said she observed the stream. She said Q's taco fun. Listen. Yes. She said this was good. She said, okay, mixed bills at that. Absolutely. I got a 100. I got a 50. I got some 20s. I got a 10, and I got some singles. I have mixed bills in my cash in my purse. I have some mixed bills. I have mixed bills. Nothing wrong with spreading your money across different banks. You got the credit union for this, you got this bank for that, so your money won't be all in one place. Have cash at home. Put a couple dollars of cash in your car. Maybe you put $100 and 20s of cash in your glove compartment in your car. So, like I said, the system may be down, but you can get $20 for gas for the weekend or something like that. Or you can stop at the grocery store real quick and, I need to run in and get some milk and some eggs real quick, and you have some money. Please. Okay. Coming from my cybersecurity background, we talk about what? Never have a single point of failure. Okay. You want redundancies. You want backups. Okay. Never, ever have a single point of failure. Never, ever have a single point of failure, y'all. So thank you so much, girl. She says, wonderful and informative of all as always. Thank you. She said, CN1 says this isn't full of important info. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So, I definitely appreciate you all. I'm glad that you all were here. I'm glad that you all came back to, and if you haven't, please like the video. Um, if you haven't, please like the video. And let me say this. Um, I don't want to play the outro. But let me just say that for those of you who may want an astrological natal chart reading, this is not me trying to get money out of you. This is not. This is me providing this service so that I can look at your natal chart and like if this was your personal natal chart, I'd be like, okay, so Mercury is retrograding in your whatever house. These are things that may come up. Okay. We are going to have an action packed. We're going to have an action packed. February is going to be real interesting. February is going to be interesting because as we move into 2026, and I'm not talking about Mercury retrograde right now. What I am talking about is as we move into 2026, the first eclipse of 2026 is in February next year. We are having other energies. Remember, I told you about Uranus and Gemini. So we're going to have some potential war signatures for the United States coming up next year. Okay. We're going to be having some perfecting astrological aspects, especially Saturn and Neptune. Okay, remember when Nesto was like, it's a whole lot of AI going on. The fact that there's a bunch of nebulous shit out here going on out here, absolutely. But there are some absolute, those of us who are astrologers, we are looking into 2026 and looking at shit like, okay, this could be very interesting here in the United States, even more so than right now. I'm not saying it's going to be war. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is when we look at signatures of the past, we are seeing certain things repeat. So I really have to get that information out for y'all. It's going to be coming. It's not going to be now. But between now and the end of the year, we will be talking about that. I do have to do Zoran Mamdani's natal chart because I found it very, very interesting how these people in New York, whether you like him or not, I'm just saying the way that the status quo class was coming at that man, I think that's very, very significant. And I need to look at his chart and I need to compare his chart with someone else's chart just to see if there are energy signatures that are there too. So I do this work so that I can form you all so you all won't be caught out here slipping. Okay? Won't be caught out here slipping. So, okay, I'm tired now. Any questions before we go? Yeah, I really gotta look at that. Let me see something real quick. I'm just typing something in for myself. Any questions before we go about anything? Oh, and let me share this with you all real quick. Let me share this with you all real quick before I go, just so you all can see. Let me remove this. And let me share screen because I want you all to see. And let me say this. I also want to say this. Moving forward, I'm not going to be as much quote unquote into the mess unless it's astrologically relevant or like doing like readings quote unquote on mess because my doing the readings the way that I do them is a gift. And I don't want to betray my gift with mess. Like mess is fun, we talk shit and all like that, but I really want to kind of save it and reserve it for how can I use this to help the community? How can I use this to help my community here on YouTube? So like the celebrity stuff and stuff, I'm going to be doing less and less of that as I move forward because we are getting into energies that and it's always something going on, and I'm never saying anything to scare you all, but mess is mess doesn't help. It doesn't help anything, right? Mess doesn't help. Right. Okay, so this is my website. If you've never been to my website, you can schedule a natal chart reading here. If you want one. If you want one. But no, it's not here. The classes are not linked here. So, I have to go back to um where did I put it? It's on my it's on my YouTube. It's on my YouTube. So let me click the link from my YouTube. Um let me go to my YouTube and let me grab the link for y'all. My channel. Let's go to posts. Because that was from a few days ago. Okay. Matter of fact, let me just go here. Let me just put this over here. I got like a few browsers open right now. Okay. So let's go here. Your milkshake. Those of you who bought milkshake, this label has been pissing me off and they've been falling off. I hope the labels don't fall off en route to y'all. I have glued them on. Hopefully they behave, but with the label or without the label, your milkshake is gonna hit. It won't look red like this because the red color is gonna dissipate in all of the rose water, but it's gonna hit. But this is what it looked like when I was done. Your milkshakes are shipping out tomorrow. Okay. So these classes. Okay, the first class is we are going to learn how to do what? Honey jars. We're going to learn to do honey jars. Or you all are going to learn to do honey jars. Or maybe you've done a honey jar before and you want to see how I do mine. Honey jars are the OG of container magic. Okay. Y'all hear about them jar spells all the time, them cursing jar spells and stuff. We're not talking about cursing jar spells on Sunday. We're talking about honey jars. What they're used for, in my spiritual opinion, how you can make one, how to do it the correct way. Okay. That's that first one. Okay. The second one is going to be the second class is the sacred scribe. It is about sigil work. Sigil work. Okay. And this right here, what you're looking at on the screen is not a demonic symbol. This is not evil, what you're looking at. And I know that this symbol, I know that what you're looking at on the screen is intimidating if you don't know what you're looking for. But baby Q is here to teach. Okay. Q is here to teach. Sigil work, sigil magic is really good magic, and you can hide a lot of what you're doing because you can write your petition down on a piece of paper and somebody find your petition and open it up and read it, and now they know what you're working towards. But you can make a sigil and end up with a bunch of squiggly looking lines on your paper and no one knows what it is. Sigil magic is a way to take your petitions, make them more secretive, but it's another way to work. And I think it's important because sigils are all around us every day. I don't want you to be afraid to look at things. I'm going to cover some sigils of some things. I'm going to show you how to make your own sigils. Okay. So these are the two classes that are on Sunday. So if you click the link, okay, so you can click the link and come here, you will select these are the classes. Okay, each class is going to be 2 hours. I'm going to be tired on Sunday, but we're going to have a good time on Sunday and we're going to learn together. And let me see if it can. Okay, so now that it's 2 days out, I'm going to go back into my scheduler and I'm going to open it back up so that you can, I'm going to fix the things in the scheduler so you can go in and select because now it won't let you select because we are less than 2 days out. So I'm gonna go in there and fix it for anyone who does want to get in on either of those 2 classes on Sunday. So Q has been doing a lot this week. I done made milkshake. I done had a death in the family. I'm mailing out milkshake tomorrow. We have classes on Sunday. We talked astrology today. I'll probably come back tomorrow at some point because I really have shit else to do. So yeah, Q does a lot for the community. Okay. How do you feel about putting yourself into a honey jar? We're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about that in the class. We're gonna talk about that in the class. We're gonna talk about that in the class. And I'm not saying it to like, oh man, just join the class. But we're going to talk about that in the class because it is a question that I see, and different spiritual workers have their opinions on it. And I have my opinion on it as well. So, do you have to know how to draw? No, this is not drawing. Mm-mm. If you can trace something with a pencil, you'll be fine. If you can draw a plus sign on a piece of paper, you'll be fine. You don't have to know how to draw. This isn't like artwork. We're not being illustrators. We're not applying to work for Disney. We're not doing that. It's very simple. It's less complicated than what people think. So I'm going to show y'all. Okay. Okay, I'm tired now. Thank you all for spending your Friday evening with me. Any questions before we go? Any other questions before we go, my beloveds? Any other question before we go, my beloveds? Any other questions? So yeah, like I said, moving forward, can you look into Simone Biles? Can you look into Jim Carrey? No, I'm not. I'm not. Unless it's something like integral or we're looking into like what potentially happened, like a woman got unalived and we need more information about her case or something like that. That's different. But I'm just making sure that I'm being responsible in what I give to the community. Like, does it help? Does it help? Um, and I simply just want to help, right? So what do you mean, my darling? Can you state that again? Because I don't understand what you're saying. Can you state that again, Aries Save Lives? I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah, he's, like I said, he travels so much. He was in the airport on Wednesday. He's, in the airport today. He has to work tomorrow and then he's going to be flying back out, I think, on Sunday or Monday. So, he spends a lot of time in the airport for work. This year has been really, really taxing on him with traveling. So, you in the airport, you on the plane, So making sure he doesn't get sick, which is why I keep him loaded up on vitamins. And he hasn't been sick in a while, but he had a headache. So he just really needs to hydrate and lay down. So he's sleeping now. But thank you so much for the concern. And I appreciate that. I received that well wish of safe travels. I absolutely received that. Thank you so much. Okay, Aries girl, make sure that you clarify what do you mean? Because I don't know what you mean. So clarify for me, girl. I want to make sure I understand you before I end this. And I've been writing y'all handwritten thank you cards for buying for supporting me with milkshake. I absolutely have these lovely handwritten cards that I was sitting out writing to y'all, and everyone has a personal message, and I'm so happy that you all bought milkshake, and I'm so very grateful. So I have these lovely thank you cards right here. Thank you so much for that, Isis. Miss Aries, baby. I want to make sure that I don't want to end the stream without answering your question. Aries, baby. Yes. Handwritten cards in my favorite color. I wrote to y'all in purple ink because purple is my favorite color, as you all can probably tell. Purple and lavender, my favorite color. So yeah, thank you cards for you all. Like I said, they're being shipped out tomorrow. I gotta go to the post office anyway because I ordered myself some things. So I gotta pick up my item from the post office. So hopefully it's not a mess in the post office. But if it is, I gotta thank the people for their service because they're working without pay. Okay. She said, thank you for all that you do and will do. Okay. If you have a question, Aries Saves Lives, please put it under in the comment section at the end of this video. Or okay, let me see. You say here, can you open the class schedule up back up for the yes, I'm gonna open it back up. I am absolutely about to open them back up. I'm gonna open it back up tonight. So check late tonight or tomorrow. I'm gonna open them back up. I am gonna open them back up. Okay. So answering your question, yes, I'm gonna open it back up. I'm gonna open both of them back up. Okay. So it's time for me to get into bed. Rub my feet together because I've been watching The Diplomat on Netflix. So I'm about to get in this bed, rub my feet together. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. For real. I'm gonna go this time. I've answered everyone's questions. I love y'all so very, very much. And I love y'all. And I'm gonna see y'all around hopefully tomorrow. I will not promise it because I gotta go to the post office, but hopefully tomorrow. Um, hopefully tomorrow I'll be back. Hopefully tomorrow. So we're gonna cross our fingers. We're gonna cross our fingers. So it came in, boo. I answered you. You good, girl. You good, go. Yes, I wish you peace, too. Peace, prosperity, and blessings to all of y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. I love my community. We see you, girl. We see you. Can somebody at Aries Saves Lives and tell her that yes, I'm going to answer. I'm going to open up the classes. Someone please at Aries Saves Lives because Mercury retrograde is getting on her right now. Mercury's haterade is touching Aries Saves Lives right now, and she didn't hear what I said. So can someone please at Aries Saves Lives and tell her yes, I'm going to open the classes back up. Somebody, please. So she can see, because I can see you all here. But for some reason, she can't see. Thank you, Sleepy B. Thank you, CN1. Thank you, Sleepy B. Yes. I don't want her to think like no one hears her or didn't answer or anything like that. So. Why do I feel like I'm exhausted? Oh, because I didn't sleep last night. That's why. I didn't sleep last night because Spirit woke me up so that I could see my mother's text message that my aunt passed away. This is why I'm tired. This is why I'm tired. So yeah, I'm really about to rub these feet together and get in this bed. And I gotta work on these presentations. But yeah, all right. For the 5th and final time, I love y'all. I'm about to go. I'll see y'all later. Bye.